Alright, guys. Um, if you want your bike to actually go faster, I've been seeing a lot of you guys try to make your bikes go better and better performance. Add a Ram Air system. Now, a lot of times you have to add a tube facing forward. From my experience, when you do that, it actually gets better airflow. It captures the air better. I known to actually have this the other way around, this side on this side, this side on that side. And when I actually put a rubber band over it and I put a bunch of many holes in it, poked a hole through my pinky finger, and when I was going, it actually had better, way better performance. And it stopped bogging out and idling out, and it had more of a humming sound, and it worked a lot better. It got the speed a lot better. Whether it gives you more speed, I don't know, but it does actually make your engine work a lot better and brings up the performance. So those guys who are actually and a better filter, make sure to have a Ram Air system. If you look on YouTube, a lot of people are doing it. Now, with me, I know with these engines it's kind of strange because some people do it with their engines will work, and some other person do it with their engine it won't work. With me, I found out is that, and this is a 38 cylinder, 66 cc to 80 cc, 32 millimeter cylinder. Now I actually found out a difference. Now, if you have a 48 cc cylinder, and you have a CY rod, which I have, then you'll be inch full clearance when the piston goes all the way up on the cylinder. If you take the cylinder head off and look in the cylinder and the piston goes all the way up, you'll be that much off. And believe it or not, that can rob you full a lot of power. At least 15 more miles an hour. So it'll feel like the engine's holding back, like you're not getting the full power, even when you're going downhill. So I gotta order a 48cc, 32 millimeter cylinder instead of a 66 or 80cc 32 millimeter rod. I'm trying to see how much more I can get with a 13 millimeter. Plus, you can also add two carburetors. If you go to gasbikes.com, and all this is experimental. So keep in mind, I'm doing a lot of testing, experimenting, see how much more I can get. They have a 32 millimeter, a two valve intake. Now, what you can do is, and I don't know if this is going to work, but this is something to look into, especially for Zeta and the rest of you guys. If you add two carburetors, now if you get the high racing forward carburetors, you can do that with a 32 millimeter two valve intake. And each of those carburetors, you have a Ram Air system facing forward, sticking out with a filter, and you might get more performance. So me, I actually drew a couple holes in this, and this is temporary, but I actually drew a couple holes in this, and it seemed to work a little better. But I'm going to cover this up. And remember, I'm constantly doing testing. I'm going to actually just use this and cover the holes up and see how much more power I can get. For some reason, and to let you also guys know, be careful. If you have your piston rings to hold your piston in place, goes in your crankcase, and you don't get it out, you put another one on, you ride it, it can do this. It can literally blow. See if I can see it here. And sorry about the lighting, guys. Bear with me. I'm using my webcam. The piston ring stretched out, got between the piston and the jug metal sleeve, and actually melted it in, or stretched it out and got caught in between the piston and the piston sleeve, or the piston jug. So it actually melted it in the sleeve, the jug sleeve. So. And it caused my whole thing to seize up, and you gotta be careful, because if these things going over at 50 to 80 miles an hour, it doesn't take, believe me, it can throw you off the bike and cause you to crash. And I have crashed in my apartment complex, and blood coming out of my mouth, and also to make sure to have a face guard, face protection as well, and not just headgear. So, or motocross armor. All right, I hope this helps, and yeah, I got much sleep, so I apologize. I sound like I'm half asleep and not making much sense, but yeah, if you add a Ram Air system, especially if you guys are living out in the middle of nowhere, it should help you get more better performance. Also, I'm also going down to trying to find a 24 to 25 tooth sprocket. They say more high speed. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to get both, get high top end and low end and everything else, you have to find that combination. And a lot of times guys say, well, you have to tune it. What tuning is trying to find that right combination, or trying to find that right area between the sprocket and the cylinder, whatever you're doing with the engine. So remember, if you do one thing to the engine, or do something else, one thing to it, you want to do something else to it. If you get a carburetor and a jet, you do something to the jets. Chances are you might do something else. So two or three other things, but not always. So no. Okay, I hope this helps. And yeah, ram air system. You can look up on YouTube. With me, I actually went with a short. It worked better with a short. I did a long one start, but when I went with a short tube ram air system from maybe plumbing from a Home Depot or hardware store, home improvement store, it actually got better performance. So, okay, and I'll see if I can get double carburetor, and I'll replace that with ram air system. One guy did on YouTube. He actually built two. But he used water heater tubes, which is plastic rubber tubes, strong heat resistant. So he actually did it, and he actually got better performance for the 32 millimeter. So if you built one for a bigger one, 40 millimeter or more. Okay. Yeah, sorry, don't mean to ramble. Don't worry. Okay.